Another fun-filled day. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Avalanche. Good evening. There goes the mic. Not the microphones. That's the. What is that? That is the speakers. So let's see what's going on there. Um, Pretty much. Where's the euro? I put the euro up there, didn't I? No, that's Canada. It's on J4X. Yeah, there you go. Showing life to it. 54. I hope you're listening. I hope you've been doing something that I've suggested. I just feel bad. That's all. Because since you're not talking, I think that you're just fighting the math, and now you're going through the whatever withdrawals it is. Let's see, where are we at with that? Let's put that up on there too. Do we have the right one on there? No, that's not the one I want. Let's close that. And let's go to that. Let's get the Mr. and Mrs. Euro going again. Where is it at? Dookie Day Week Forex. There it is. And so here we are trading at 117.5 now. Who was it? Was Daniel? Or we're looking for the 125s? Well, obviously it's getting closer. That's for sure. And what else can we say about any of that? And the end result is that it's all firm. Dollar is going down. Metals seem to be going up. The replacement for the dollar. And we're just seeing them march north. As I take a bite of my bagel. There we go. I've been battling all morning long with the azure cloud and everything else. Oh joy. Give me a trading floor with screaming and yelling. Alright, so there you can see the euro marching north. You can see here, besides all the errors in the code on Marsh. Sorry about that, Ollie. And right there, you can see, what is this? This is, no, that's NASCAD. Let's find it there. There's the euro. Off and away in my beautiful, beautiful balloon, huh? Look at that thing go. And we've been a daily buy here, a weekly buy here. So anybody that is trading this on the short side doesn't have the blessing of the mathematics. That's right. So do not, I mean, you could trade it short for a few hours, but do not build a position, that's for sure. Not until it goes the other way. Anyhow, let's see, what else do we got going here? Can we hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes, I do hear it. Okay, good. All right, so there we are there with the euro. And then obviously, I think there's strength across the board, right? So let's take a look at where we headed now. Let's take a look at cable. Let's see what the cable's doing. Bring in the sterling. And there's the sterling looking firm, steady at 128.5. And you see all the green here matching up with Doc's work here. Bring on the Chicago quant. Right there. And you see it's strength and dots and lollipops and rainbows. And you can see here the daily buy. Now this one was cute. You know, it was in the weekly buy from here, went sloppily down, then climbed back up with the daily buy, went into a weekly sell for a whole week, and then you see it climbed back into the weekly buy again. It's interesting. Look, the market has players that are using these products for real, not just central banks that are manipulating world whatever. However you want to describe it. I'm not even sure how to describe it anymore. And is manipulation even too strong a word? You know, I don't know if we have an answer for any of that. All we know is that the central banks fight every day for stability. Is that manipulation? I guess it is. But is it a bad manipulation or a good manipulation? I mean, it's like when you tell somebody don't walk across the street when a car's coming. Person starting to walk across the street probably says, hey, I don't want them to tell me what to do. So I don't know. It's a good influence on some level here. especially in an era where now they are the buyers of last resort. All right, so you can see cable doing the same thing. Let's go to J4X on the cable and just see what it looks like. How far? I guess are they going to go after this? They're going after the lows here. Where the Corona kick was. I guess you could call it the Corona kick, where it jumps up and over a 3 or 4 day period, and then they slam the daylights out of it, and then they slam it back up again. And a lot of the stock indices minus the Nasdaq has looked this way, which is interesting, And then the metals are even more insane, I guess you could say. Let's go take a look at metals on J4X, just for a quick look. Let's take a look at gold. And as you can see in the metals, the same situation. The virus kick goes out and takes out a new high. Then they slam it down hard. Oh, let's see. We've got Robin on the telephone. Yo, Robin, what's shaking bacon? Hold on a second. Let me change my 4X, my headsets. Okay, there we go. Say again, over. Robin? Oh, there we go. I hear you. So, let's talk over after the after the webinar. Yeah. All right. Bye bye. Okie dokie. So yes. Where was I at? Oh yes, I'm in southern New Jersey. So anyway, yeah. Look at the. What was I thinking about? Oh, I know what I was thinking about. There it is. You can see here the virus kick right there. Right, and it goes down, and now that, like the NAS 100, let's take a look at the NAS, or what they call the Tech 100 on Dukascopy, which is the NAS 100. I like Dukascopy's name for it more. The Tech 100. It's kind of like one of those John Wayne movies, like Well Pilgrim, and they just, the Tech 100, because it's truly the Tech 100. Now look how it dragged and took twice the distance, like all this over here, whereas gold kind of took out the high here, but the Tech 100 took twice the amount of time. But then that is all-time highs there. So, well, Pilgrim. I hear the big Duke, John Wayne. All right, that's the cowboy in me. All right, so now we go back to the cable. Let's go back to the cable. Unless anybody wants to see something. If you want to see something, just say, hey, I'd like to look at, I don't know, whatever. I don't really care. Aussie against, the Rand, whatever. And we'll stop what we're doing. We'll go take a look at it. But as long as you're not asking, then I'll just keep on rolling along with my normal insanity. Let's see, where was I at? Okay, yeah. So let's get back to the cable. So you can see in the currency markets. Let's see, right there. There it is again. You can see they've been kind of dragging along like the S&P 500 or the Dow, not really taking out the high here. Whereas, let's see the euro. The euro has, I believe it has. No, I don't think it has, but yeah, it is. Yeah, it has. Now it's like the Tech 100, rocking and a rolling and a reeling. And it's got some real lust, real drive, real conviction. It's like, yeah. Yeah, there's buyers in there. I know there's some around that thought that it should go to parity with the dollar, down to one even. And a lot of us, have been watching that. But again, we follow the math in the end result. We thought that in the election, coming up in November, the dollar would have, some sellers. So, but obviously they do the classic. If you want to sell it, take it up. Then you sell it. And vice versa. If you want to buy it, they'll take it down so they can buy in and then sell it to you as they take it up. That is the nature of the market. All right. Now, we looked at the gold real quick. We can go back to that because, just comparing the craziness there. And gold has busted. Before we go visit the Turkish lira, let's take a look at, I just have to look at the Turkish lira for a sec. I'm not even analyzing it, just look at it and see if it's doing anything. I did notice it did go into a daily sell there last week. Okay, it's flatlining still. All right, now let's look at the gold. Gold is through the $1,900 area. You see the strength there. And let's see. You can see our white line moving up. You can see the whole bit. And then let's go over to it through the Chicago Quant, my work. Where are you? There you are. That's not you. Okay, let's say okay and go there. Let's find it right there. There's the gold. As you can see, gold trading at 1928 bid. Let's see where the spot is. Spot's at 33. Well, that's messing up the arbitrage, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, so I mean that's what the name of the game is. Basically, you buy the spot, sell the future, and so there's no room really for spot to sell the future right now. Saw a great article yesterday about gold. 150 tons of gold came into New York, and because of the arbitrage. And they said the arbitrage has been a little skewy lately. So that could be the pressure right there. I keep on waiting for the central banks to try to stall it out. But there's so many countries that are seeing all-time highs. So the dollar is obviously going down, I would assume. Let's go take a look at that UUP. That's the gold ETF. Is that it right there? Yeah. Let's see, where are you? UUP. Where are you? Right? Somewhere. UUP. There it is. Yeah, see it's moving down. So the dollar is going down, the currency pairs are going up, and the metals are going up. So it's interesting. Normally, we always think that if they're going to try to sell, like, the euro or something like that, they may sell gold or they may sell silver or platinum or something. Matter of fact, platinum spread I've noticed. Let's just take a quick look at that. Platinum did go back into the weekly buy yesterday, last week, which is cool. And platinum is in the $900 area now, which is incredible. Imagine that platinum is $1,000 cheaper than gold. Wow. Let's see if we can find it here. That's like a blow my mind. And look at that. Went into the daily buy there, and now we are. Let's steal this weekly buy and put it over here. I went into the weekly buy there. There we go. So there's the action. So there's some pretty good action in this metals market going on. Robin and I put an article out. I guess it was it's like 3 weeks ago now, toting the and we've talked about it so many times here, talking about silver and so forth. Let's see what silver's doing. We were toting the silver, saying silver is going to break out. It's outperforming gold, that type of thing. And silver, is, in this case here, silver is almost $5 higher now since we put the article out. And you can see it was in a weekly buy. I'm going to tighten this up. Way back in here, we talked about it. We toted it back then, too. We were toting it then. We're toting it now. And anybody who's not long is wrong. I mean, that's pretty much the name of the game. You see where we've been daily buy here. Weekly buy here. And as you can see on the Chicago Quant, markets go in and out. Things are not consistent in the sense of that it's just going to go one exact move. Even here, went into a teeny weeny little triangle again and then busted out of that. So let's take a look at it on J4X. We talked about this many a time. Wasn't it last week I put up there like gold, silver, oh my, some stuff like that. I've been yakking about this product for weeks now, months. And so we're getting that. We even like last Tuesday or Wednesday, I was saying, the challenge it'll be in the mid 20s, and 23 to 26 basically will be the stalling out area. We'll see. It was just like crude. We talked about the crude too when it was at $20 a barrel or $15 a barrel, and said it'll get stalled out in the high 30s, low 40s. The first challenge will be to 33, then it'll play up into like 38, 39, and then it'll maybe make its dash to 41, 42, and then stall out. Same game. Wonder what they're doing to crude oil. Let's see. Let's see. There it is right there. Yeah, 41. 51. 41. And it's got that Turkish lira look to it too, which is kind of neat. But there's some really good trading going on. Oh, Toko Mo. Toko Mo. Are you like from Tokyo? Cool. Or Tokyo Momentum. Toko Mo. Big Mo. Momo. We used to call it on the trading floor Momo. Momentum. Let's see, Doc, could you just say a few words regarding those two indicators? Nope. Just a nickname. I like it. Either way, I like it. I think it's cool. We have somebody that's on here. They have ZZ, capital Z, ZZ, and then space Z. I call them Quad Z. I like that. I love these nicknames. Sure. I can. Let's see. So words regarding those two indicators. When you say those two indicators, the one on J4X or the ones on Chicago Quant, which ones are you aiming at? And I'll give you a good description and what's going on and so forth. So Toko Mo sounds like a mountain. Are you a mountain? Chicago Quant. Okay. Chicago Quant is a indicator that I developed back in 1977 to deal with the Higgs boson fantasy. And so I found that it liked to measure anything and everything. So from expanding galaxies to medical isotopes to stock indices to just weather. I don't know. It measures anything that moves. Anything that moves, it likes to measure. And so sometimes cool. So Razzie, how high can gold go? Good question. I don't know. If you'd asked me this 10 years ago, I would say it, with everything that's going on right now, and I've said this many a time in the webinars, I would think gold would be at 10,000 by now. So, how high can it go? I guess we follow it by the math. So we don't try to throw some prediction out there where it is how high it's going to go. Matter of fact, I was supposed to give an indication that we do have some monthly indicators that can give us directions like that at times. How high something might go. But I don't really look in that direction. I just look at the direction itself. In other words, it's going up, play it long. If it's going down, play it short. And that's pretty much or hedge it. If you're long it and it gives a signal that it's going down, you don't have to play it short. You can just hedge it. Protect yourself. Keep your assets successfully. So when it comes to like how high can it go? Geez, I thought it should be at 10,000. How many times have I said that here at the webinar where I would have thought that the lowest end of the range would have been 3,700, and you would think that with all the circumstances that are going on in the economic universe of our planet, you would think that gold would be basically between $5,000 and $10,000 an ounce. But it is not. So how high can it go? I don't know. Maybe it will go to 10,000 in the end. Anything's possible. So, but that's the way I look at it. Does that make any sense to you? Wouldn't you think if someone asked you, speculate on a future price of an asset like gold, and you told them that the central banks now run pretty much the buyers of last resort, Swiss National Bank, just raked in from a big sell-off like $35 billion, things like that. Would you be thinking like, oh my God, the world is in just flying in crazyville, and and gold must be like rocketing off the shelf, and it's just going to the moon. So let's see, the all-time high is broken. In like 80 different currencies. Sky is limit. Well, in a description in physics, basically on the trading floor, when people used to say the sky is the limit, or what goes up must come down, when they used to throw those little word concepts out, or expressed them, not throwing them out, but when they expressed them, pretty much the main idea was that if you have enough escape energy, in other words, if you have enough buyers, yeah, sky is the limit, without a doubt. And you would assume that gold is going to be a standard bearer still, because it's a what do you call it? It's a precious metal, and it holds its value fairly well, I guess. History shows us that it holds its value in a very long-term perspective. But how do we justify it going from, in the same circumstances, from 2008, running up to all-time highs at under 2,000 in price, and then falling back down to 1,000? It lost 50% of its value. Something like silver runs to $50 an ounce and falls down to $11.70 no more than four months ago, or 3 months ago at this point, late March, right? So so April, May, and June, and we're in July now. So April, May, June, and July. So 4 months. 4 months ago, silver's trading at $11.70. Now it's doubled in price. So, how do you, not you or me, but how could anybody mathematically and realistically justify 1171 as a low in silver? In other words, how come anybody, who in their right mind would be selling silver at 1171? You know what I mean? It had to be, hedgers that were trapped and just offsetting, and the pressure was so great it pressed it down. Or same thing with gold. How could they drive gold from almost 2,000 down to 1,000? And now we are barely, in dollar terms, this is, find our way up. So, both of your points of view are interesting, and realistic, very realistic. Sky the limit, it could be, the sky is always the limit, I guess. In other words, escape velocity, if you put enough energy in it when it comes to trading products, so, and then we go back to Tokomo. Tokomo. God, that sounds familiar. Is that like, I know why it sounds familiar. Tokamak. That's what I was thinking in the back of my head. Deep down inside, I was such anti-tokamak. So it means accelerator in Russian. And so I was one of those in the 70s was against the tokamak. And so a lot of us in physics drifted away from the accelerator universe, and I went and invented my formula. And that was the drive to my indicator, is to measure something that you don't influence physically. And so that was the whole objective there. So I hope that helps you a little bit. And it has a little quant, it has a quant characteristics, because what it is it's reading price, or number. In other words, the value of something. The number itself. In other words, the price action of it. It measures it and then takes a look at it, and it looks back at previous price action, and it gives us a future indication of where it will go, and if it's going to go up or if it wants to go down. It confirms that stuff. So tokamak, or Tokomo. Never heard of that one, even though I am fluent in Russian. Yeah, tokamak? Oh yeah. We a lot of us blocked it. They were going to build it in Princeton, and we were really fighting against it. And then they were going to move it to Texas. Then they started building as you go in through the Route 1 into Princeton. It was on the left side there. You can see the mounds still. And then that was like a test thing for the tokamak. And then to satisfy enough people in Congress, they moved it to Texas. And so then they were going to build it in Texas. A lot of us thought that accelerators were a waste of money and time. Obviously, we've proved our point very clearly. $16-17 billion, and the CERN accelerator has taught us nothing but mathematical fantasy. But anyway, that was how we created the indicator. And so it's kind of like, think of it more like electricity. Our indicator is more like electricity, a lot more like Maxwell, Faraday, the things that march and move our society today. A couple of old characters like Gauss and Euler, things like that. So Go no go oiler. So yeah, tokamak. We tried to compare it to two trash bags. You take two trash bags, you hop in a car, you put somebody in the car blindfolded, drive them around town at night on the night that they collect the trash. You grab one. You take off the blindfold. Do you take off the blindfold? No, you walk him out of the car. He picks up the trash in a trash bag of trash, puts it in the back of the car, and then the driver drives around again. Could be 2 blocks away, but drive around for 30 minutes. Could be 50 blocks away. Grabs another bag randomly, puts it in the back of the car. Then you take it back to your accelerator, collide it together around 71,000 miles an hour, because that equals about the same rate of change to an accelerator with an electron and all that stuff, and then try to figure out which house some of the ingredients came out of, and what did one house eat versus another. And so that was the answer to it all. Got it. Thanks. I'm done wearing you down. I hear you. Okay. Anyway. All right. So where are we at here? What are we looking at? This is what is this? This is silver. Okay. Yeah. So you can see here, it's going up in value. That's what the math has been trying to tell us. It's been telling it to us here. It was telling us back here that it was trying to go up when it was in the 14s. It went up into the 19s, I guess it was. And now it's gone from the 18s to the 25 or 24 and 24s. So the math is doing its job, and it just keeps on rolling on. Daniel, fun fact, Bitcoin is over 10 grand. Yeah, I think we're in a weekly buy for 2 weeks now. Let's see. No, 1 week. So it's 1 week in a weekly buy, but 6 days in a daily buy. So it's been going up for a while on our work. Let's see if we can get it up on the J4X. Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm a fan of the cryptos. I think that there's a place for cryptos just like anything else, Wow, look at that market. 232 at 346, $114 bid offer. Yowzer. Yeah. And we went into the weekly buy on Friday, and we were in a daily buy for 6 days, so you couldn't be short it, that's for sure, down in the 89s. And then on Friday it said be long or be wrong, and obviously anybody who's short it is getting smoked. So yeah, that makes sense to me. In some ways, the Bitcoin seems to be the surrogate for gold. Notice how they drove it down, and they took it down from 10,000 to almost a little under 6,000, right? Down into the low fives for a couple of days with the Corona panic. And then they within weeks, wasn't it weeks? Let's see. Let's just take a look at it. And there it is there. And within weeks, it already had, so it fell down to 4,000, right? They're showing the 4,000s. And then within weeks, it was already it almost doubled again. And then it built a base. And then with another couple weeks, it done it again. It got up, it went from the 7s to the 10s. And so it's been hesitating in this 9 to 10 area. And, we went into the weekly sell, I think, for like 4 or 5 weeks back in here. And, it didn't really go down much. And then we, like I said, where we stand on the product now. So, and that is that. Yeah, that's something, the cryptos. Let's see, logged in on Friday, gold and silver, which went well. Yeah, I think we had a good story about it I've been yakking about it for weeks. So let's see, closed gold at 1940 and silver at 24.12. What does Quant say about it now? Well, what about Bitcoin? Let's take a look and see. Do 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 do. There it is, right there. Well, you can see it. No, you can't see it. Let's do that. There it is, right there. Oh, we need to put that weekly buy thing in. Where is that? It's back in here. Binky, binky, binky. Do, 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 do. it's riding into the sunset on an upside. So looking good, right there. Let's see if I can widen this out more. Yeah. Maybe we need to fix the color of that a little bit. I don't know. Let's see what we can do about this. Maybe lighter. That's a little bit lighter, right? Yeah. And then I guess if we go like that, make that a little bit thickerish. Make this a little bit thickerish. No, I guess that's good. I know it is the time manifolds. Let's make the time manifolds a little bit thicker. Right there and right there. There we go. So you can see it's marching along. We got a couple red dots, but it wasn't able to get into the cell because the histogram was plus there. And then when it did it again there, both of them were plus, so it couldn't go into the daily cell again. These things need to be all in unison together to put them into cells and buys and all that other stuff. There was one of those cells up in here. You can see it went down at the time. So it's just still marching along, doing its thing kind of happily. Let's see, 20K. Didn't get up to there before, right? Let's see, Bitcoin might go to 12 to 13 by end of summer, maybe 20K by next year. It could, It's not a very, when you look at Bitcoin, and you look at all the, global trading, it's a very small percentage. I think it's only like $6-7 billion, something like that. $5-6 billion. It's very small. So, it has great potential to take off because they are only going to have a limited amount of Bitcoin to begin with. And, so the cryptos are going to grab more and more credibility as time goes on. And, so you're right. I could see the 12s. We'll see. We get into a sell, then we'll say be hedged, or short. Take your choice. And if we stay in the buys, then ride the pony. Ride it into the sunset. Just keep on riding. Let's see. Market cap is 120 billion. No, I'm talking about daily transaction. I'm sorry. I'm talking about daily transaction. I understand that the Federal Reserve has it like they actually follow. They have a statistic on the Federal Reserve here in the States about how much it's being used every day. It's about $5-6 billion. That's it. It's just like what was the other thing that we were looking at that we talked about that? Oh yeah, Chinese yuan. The Chinese yuan is only like less than 1% of global trade, and Bitcoin is the same way. It's only like 5 to 6 billion in global trade a day. No, I wasn't really talking about market cap. I'm talking about its there's words for it. Its use, its activity. How they use it every day. People are using it. So it's not really, in other words, so it's, in other words, if they were trading like, I don't know, if they were trading like half a trillion dollars worth of Bitcoin a day, like right now you're saying that it's 120 billion in capitalization, but if it was trading 120 billion a day, then it could do more transactions. But when you only do like 5 or 6 billion a day in transactions, 24 million daily trading volume. No, I understand that they actually measure like goods bought in it and goods sold in it, transacted each day. So I don't think we can get that. I don't think we can get that stat. The only stat we can get it from is I know like everybody wants to trust the Fed, but I do trust them on some certain levels like that. I don't think they'd be hiding if it was trading. If it was trading, like 30 or 40 billion a day, you would see the transactions more. Other companies would be saying, pay me in Bitcoin or something like that. If they were doing 120 billion a day in transactions, you would see it. Like, oh, I need to buy 10 Caterpillar bulldozers. Pay me in Bitcoin. You would see that. But I don't think a volume on trading itself, just transacting Bitcoin, I don't know if you're seeing all the trades, just like the black pools with equities. The Securities Exchange Commission is supposedly so much more tenacious than, Bitcoin, and they hide a lot of stock activity every day now. They allow illegal trading in stocks, listed stocks that are public companies every day. They don't report the last transaction until the end of the day, or maybe even 2 or 3 days later. So you don't really see the true volume until you go back and look at volume and you go, wait a minute, it was 24 million yesterday, and then all of a sudden it's like the stock has a volume of 36 million now. Where did the extra 12 million go? Well, the Securities Exchange Commission just let it happen. So they don't enforce any of that stuff. So that's what I'm talking about, is that you can't really follow the volume per se to see what the activity is in commerce with Bitcoin. The Federal Reserve, and I imagine there's a few central banks that put it out there. They're following all kinds of statistics, so they must have a way of following the activity commerce-wise, for their economic departments and their future values and all that other stuff. So, but not trading volume and not capitalization. This is just in commerce itself. And the same thing with like the yuan. You can fake this volume stuff all day long. In other words, you can wash trades and increase the volume, and in the end result is that doesn't tell us in real terms, like like the old saying about the rubber meeting the road, like for a tire in an automobile. You're not seeing how many Caterpillar tractors are being bought, or John Deere tractors, or grains of corn being shipped or stuff like that and transacted in Bitcoin. You don't see that. You see, I'm not really trading 30-year bonds, ZB or UST bond, but it still goes up, it seems, slowly and surely. Is it going up in value or down? Aren't we in a weekly buy and a daily sell or something odd like that? Let's see. That's line right there. Line, yeah, we're a weekly buy and daily sell. 5 days of one and 5 weeks of the other. Let's take a look at that. Do 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 do. Right there. So you can see here. So it's been in a daily sell, but it's kind of humping its way up at the same time. And you see it's trying to climb. Not much, but it's trying to climb. See that? It's been the sell. Let's put the sell in there too. So I went into the sell here. And that was at 139 and basically 12. So 139. 139.12 and a half, basically, or a quarter, I guess it is. 530 seconds. Let's see. It trades in 30 seconds and sometimes 64ths. So 530 seconds is basically 2/16, a little bit better, and so forth. I guess it is 2/16. No, 130 second. 230 seconds is 1/8. Is it 1/8? And then 4/16, which is a quarter. Anyway, end result is that it hasn't really. It's jumped up. It's trading at. Let's go look at that again. So it's trading at 139, 18, 30 seconds right now, and when it went into the daily sell, it was trading at 139 and 12 and 530 seconds. 18. So it's off by 6 pips. Say that. Okay. So it's going wrong. At the same time, we're in a weekly buy, so you can't take the short because we're in a weekly buy. As you can see it right here, we've been in a weekly buy. So we're trapped. Trapped in that odd situation there where, it's a neutral position at the moment. It doesn't look like it's doing that much with it. Let's see. Fell off after. The Mexican peso. Let's see. So Daniel says. Let's see. So D5 from. Okay, that's the cryptocurrency. It means a lot more than Bitcoin, and it will ignite the next crypto bull market. Cool. I think, yeah. I look. There are so many queries out there about what is going on that you would have to assume that there are people adding these things to their portfolio that are running public money. You would assume that. I would imagine. Probably 1% of the portfolio or 3% of the portfolio, things like that. Probably like that. Now let's take a look at what's that dollar peso. Let's see what the dollar peso is doing. Let's see. Dollar peso. There it is. I just saw it. Jump out again at me. Come on. There it is. And so you see it there. It's kind of, I don't see the peso seems to have been kind of somewhat chill lately. Yeah, a little bit. It doesn't seem to have a lot of conviction to do anything at the moment. It's I guess everything is with the summer months and all like that. Now let's go take a look at it through the quant. Quant, where are you? Quant. There it is. And you can see it's, oh, okay. So, oh, all right. So it closed in a weekly sell last week. Right there. Back in the saddle again. There we go. And that's today. So, and then, what is this all about? That green thing. Isn't that a sell? That'd be a sell. It's not a buy. Where's the, I guess, oh, we were moving them around, I guess. That's what it was. On Friday? Did we look at this on Friday? So there's the buy. That right there is the buy. And then right afterwards, oh, and it couldn't go into, oh, it's, you know what? It's not, it went into the sell back in here. So it's been in the sell. That's what it is. So it's been in the sell here for 1, 2, 3. That's the 24th. That is the 23rd. So it's been in the sell for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. This is the 5th day in a sell. And it went into the weekly sell on Friday. So, you know, it's saying it's going down. Fell off after all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. You're not seeing any of that. Let me do that again. There it is. So you can see there. So it went into the sell here. And we were talking about this on Friday, right? You asked for this and the Chinese yuan. Yeah, you can see there. It's 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 going sideways more. You know, it's not like when you look at it on J4X, you can see it's like a slow burn down. I mean, maybe it'll be a bigger move, which is a positive thing, right, for the peso. I mean, if it goes down, it means it's more valuable. So. Yeah, I really don't like looking at the China yuan because it's such a small. Mexico trades so much more globally than China does. I'm not even sure what's this drug about China. China's like a drug. Besides them having a virus, I mean they're like people like China for I have no idea why. Our media loves China. Our socialists love China. You know, the rest of the country could care less about China. I think they're evil. So, and I see all kinds of things. This virus thing has really hurt them. They're wrecking their brand name. They had a really good brand name, especially when you have the left in America, loving them all the time, and the media in America loving them all the time. So, but I don't find them an active trader. They're less than 1% of global trade. It's awful. I don't know. The bigger question is who's bigger? Is Bitcoin bigger than China when it comes to global trade? I'll have to look and see if we can find out what the actual how much yuan in global trade actually transacts a day. I'd imagine more yuan does, just because of the way they buy oil. Don't they buy like 5 million barrels a day for foreign oil? So I mean that alone should do it. That could push it up right there alone. The cryptos are going to get more footing and more respect and more continuity as an alternative. There's no doubt about that. Especially when, again, when we discuss what's going on and you look at the metals and you look at the global markets and how they're run now, and you have 47 or 46 different exchanges or ECMs now in the United States. I mean, it used to be the New York Stock Exchange was like #1 and NASDAQ was #2. Now NASDAQ does 5 times more volume every day. 5 times more volume. Not like a quarter percentage point. I'm talking like 5. It can do 5 billion shares a day. The New York Stock Exchange does something like 8 or 900 million shares a day, or 1 billion shares a day. I mean, it's like really thin. So I mean, the days are gone. The New York Stock Exchange is owned by a futures exchange now. It's just a high-priced advertisement commercial TV show. So when you look at what's going on, and the over underpriced of equities. There's always that deep discussion about overpriced equities or underpriced equities, or this is a bubble or this is not a bubble. And I myself don't don't see it as a bubble. I see it as an asset inflation. So in other words, people want a return in their investment. Contrary to the European Union's attitude of minus interest rates, people really do want to invest in something and make money. And that minus interest rate thing is a real conundrum. It really hurts. They have 14 or 15 trillion, not billion, not million, trillion invested in minus investments. So in other words, you buy it, you lose money instantly. And all you're really doing is hoping to get your assets back. And so, when it comes to the cryptocurrencies, that's got to be giving them strength. People have to be saying, why am I going to invest in something that's automatically a loss? Why don't I just buy the crypto and take the risk? And then they have, I think there's options now in the futures, so you can actually hedge yourself correctly, and so then it opens the doorway for more use of the product, and that's usually the way it rolls. So let's see, what else can we say about any of these things? Anybody else have an opinion about anything? Daniel, you can ask. Do you want to see anything else? It's a good market. Now, let's go back to the Turkish lira. Turkish lira held again 34 weeks now in a weekly buy and 1 day in a daily sell. So let's see what they're doing. Let's do it first on J4X. And it's just kind of hanging along, isn't it? Look at that. That was kind of fun to watch that happen. That was just, and it's so tight compared to what it has been. We'll find out what that story is sooner or later. You can see here on the J4X how tight it is like that. Now we've had 2 red dots the last couple of days, and we are in the daily sell. You can see right there. Right there, it went into the daily sell on Friday. But we're in a weekly buy, so there's nothing to really be done. Let's put that out there. We don't even usually put a thing in there, do we? So right there. We don't even put the dotted lines in there. It's just been just weak. And look at it. It's higher than Friday's close. I mean, it went lower, but now it's higher. So, there's no real conviction in this product at the moment. It's just flat. Oh, here we go. Tokamak says, this is too exotic for me. Yuan, the lira, peso. What would you like to see, Tokamak? Would you like to see something else? We can put something fundamental in there for you. DAX, S&P 500, British pound, Canadian dollar, name it. We'll throw it in there for you. All you have to do is ask. This is too exotic. Exotic. I hear you. We just go we roll with the questions. That's all. So if you want to see something, just ask. Just way Daniel's doing it. In Forex, euro strongest, dollar weakest. In index, nothing special. Sideways, gold, silver up, oil slowly up. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it all. Yeah. Tokamak, if you got Tokomo, if you got anything you want to see, just ask. We'll delve into it and see what we can find out. We look at it, everything and anything. We usually do this. We go euro, cable, Turkish lira, Canadian dollar. Then we kind of look at oil a little bit. We look at a NASCAD of the loonie trade. Then we zip back over to the Swiss franc and the dollar. Then we take a look at the yen and the dollar. So we can drift anywhere you want. I just follow the questions. And when no one's asking the questions, I just keep on rolling. So if you want to see anything in particular, just scream it out. We'll check it out. Actually, Swiss weakest not... Yeah, wow, yeah. Let's look at that Swiss. That's been very impressive. It's right. Yeah, it's been really impressive. Look at that march down, Been a daily sell since there. Weekly sell since back up in here. I was reading the Swiss National Bank, their central bank, and how they've been investing. And we had a couple webinars on that one, which was really cool. Boy, have they made some good money in the Tech 100. Actually, Swiss weakest not dollar. Well, actually, less Swiss to the dollar means it's going up in value. So, Swiss up today, yeah. Is it? Yeah, is it up? It's fighting its way up after the low today. Yeah. I wonder if that's because the metals are taking off so well that they just kind of sold a little bit of the Swiss. I mean, profit taking, right? Tokamak says, "Why is the Swiss so weak? I would assume Swiss yen should be killing it." You know, that's always a good question. Well, we understand. I would disagree with the both of them in unison. So, in other words, the Swiss is such a healthier currency and economy, smaller, of course, and then the yen you know, I traded the yen when it was 500-600 yen to the dollar. Now it's, you know, I could have sworn I traded it when it was 800 yen to the dollar. Now it's trading at 1 yen to the dollar. It's been in a recession in that country for what, almost 40 years now, 4 decades. Its all-time high in the Nikkei is 39,000, and it's trading at what, like 17,000? Let's see if we can find the Nikkei on this thing. The yen is, there's the yen there, and it's moving down. You can see on our work, where's our work? There it is. 6 weeks in a sell, 17 days in a sell. Okay, now it hasn't been really going too far anywhere except for the last couple of days. It's really kicked it up. So you can see here. Well, no, you can't. Let me show it to you. You can see there's the weekly sell. And there's the daily sell, and it's been in the sell all that time period. And we update this every day. So, and that's what the spreadsheet does. It's a fact check sheet. You know, and you just go back, look on YouTube, and you'll see every day this is updated, and you know, so forth. So it's not faked out like tomorrow. There's going to be fake numbers on it compared to the yesterday or something like that. But no, the Chinese, the Japanese yen is in a different situation altogether. Their central bank is also involved, just like the Swiss National Bank, in investing, but they are doing it more to hold up their own products. They control like 50% of the token? What's the Chinese? Chinese. The Japanese inner index. It's like their S&P 500 in a sense. You have the Nikkei, which is like the big index, and then there's like a small. It's like the Dow Jones Industrial Average, I guess. It's the inner one. Token, and you know, they own like 50% of the stocks, if not more, 60% of the stocks outright. They own like 7%, 8%, 10% of them. You know, big chunks. So the yen is different than the yen is kind of locked to the dollar and so forth. And the Swiss is truly a good independent source to go after. You know, to trade. Yen today, yes, but not Swiss. Exactly. Daniel's right. Let's see, or Doc is right. Daniel's even more right. How about that one? This is the Doc and Daniel show again. Daniel and Doc show. Fun fact. Oh, I'm ready for this. Swiss yen going down correlates with stock market. That makes sense. Let's go take a look at that. I like that. Yeah, the Nikkei is like, it's been buried. Let's see. Oh yes, let's go check out what Daniel just put out there. What was that? Swiss yen. I like that. What a good idea. That's kind of like the Euro Aussie, huh? Swiss yen. Where are you, Swiss yen? There's Swiss. Oh, there it is. No, that's CAD yen. CAD yen. CAD yen. Okay, so I got to punch it in, right? So I go like this. CHF. Right there. There we go. And we could do this. Let's go to ours and put it in also. That'd be cool. Let's see, where was it? We saw a Nordic one, didn't we? Is that where we put something on Friday, right? Where was that? It was right next to the Mexican peso, I thought. There's the ruble. Dollar, Turkish lira, dollar Swiss, Aussie dollar, euro. Let's see there. Oh, I guess it was it GBP AUD. I think that's where we put it in. So let's see if we can do this with ours. That's interesting there. And look at that. We were looking at that. Yeah. So we were talking about this before. There's a box there even. It retained that. No. I'm sorry. That's not it. Forget that. Sorry about that, traders. Let's go find it. Let's see. Instrument. So you go like that. Add. And it's what? CHF. Look up. I don't see it there. Cache. CHF. Look up. There it is. So Swiss yen right there. There it is. Okay. Now what? Let's see. Close. And we go here. We go CH. Okay, there it is. We'll all see this live together. This is cool. I always like doing this. This is fun. CHF. Close. All right, so there we go there. All right, so what do we got here? These are left over from the last product. So that's there's the buy right there. Yeah, there's the buy right there. There's the buy right there. And it's been in a week. Oh, it almost went into a sell. -2 plus 51. So no, it couldn't. Just missed it. So it's been in a buy since here. Make that this and this and that and this. So it's been in a weekly buy. Oh, sorry about that. Been in a weekly buy from there. Let's go back and look how it's looked a couple times. Oh, that's cool. Now, what was the other one that was in there? It was a Swiss something, right? AUD went into a sell with that. That's cool. Boy, that's very close going into a buy there. And let's roll it along again. There's a buy. Went into the buy here. And what is that? That's that went into a sell. That made it into the sell, and it went right back into the buy again. And then, and you can see here, it was in a daily buy here. Then went into a sell there for a couple of days, and then went back into the daily buy here. This trend's interesting. Then went into a sell there, went into a buy there, and a sell. Went into the buy for here, and rode up there again, and then went into a sell up in here, went down. So, I mean, how many technicians can do that? You know, pull a product that they've never had. They had to load it into their system, no less, and were able to, you know, instantly. You know, my algorithm, the quant, is able to just dissect it and figure it out and get rolling. It's robust. As one provost at one university said to me one time, no more than a couple of years ago, the head of one of the graduate schools in the United States said to me, "It's so robust. Your math is so robust." We used to talk about it every day. For a couple of years we did. See, okay, so what is it? Yeah, let me see if we can put the Nikkei up there for Tokomo. How do I do that? Let's see. Let me Google that. There must be an ETF. Nikkei. Let's see. Let's see. What is that? NIKKEI ETF. Let's see if we can find an ETF. Nikkei ETF. Yeah, I used to follow it. I used to post it. EWJ. That's what it is. Okay. I bet it's even in the system. I remember that. All right. Let's see if we can do this. EWJ. And then we're going to get out of here. Stocks. EWJ. Yeah, there it is. I haven't watched it in so long. EWJ. Oh, what's wrong with that one? Settings. Okay. Don't be angry. Calm down. Let's try this. Settings. Local. Okay. EWJ. Stock. All right, let's see what that looks like. See, it's got all these old ones in there, like that. You know, from the last chart. Let's see. It's been in a weekly buy for a while. See, it's been in a weekly buy way back in here. Right there, it went into the weekly buy. Did it make it in the sell there? I don't think it did. No, because it was 000 and plus 119. So it went into the buy here at the 60 area, or 50 area, 48 area, something like that. 48 area. And it's trading at 56, almost 57. Now let's see how the dailies look. Daily looks okay, I guess. It's kind of sloppy buy, sell. Look at that. It was in a sell and it went up. That's not cool. See, we're going to be wrong. We live and die by our math, traders. And then you can't get short, though. That's the. Oh, look at that. It closed on Friday in a sell. So now you can get short or take a profit. But you couldn't take these trades anyway because we're in a weekly buy. So you can't take these trades. And hence, that's what the issue is all about to begin with. And then you can take the buy, but you can't take the sells. You can take profits on the sells. You can take the buy, but you can't take the sells. You can take the profits there. You can buy, but you can't take the shorts here. It's awful tight to begin with, isn't it? Let's see if we can widen this out. All right. Anyway, we better get out of here. NK for Nikkei futures. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we'll go take a look at that. This is the ETF, and it could be a lot sloppier. All right. Anyway, this is Doc from North America. Everybody have a safe and smart trading day. We will catch you tomorrow. Thank you for asking questions. Ta-ta for now. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails.